Welcome, gods and goddesses, creators, to All Things Spirituality with yours truly, Maria Palomino, a sacred sanctuary that speaks the unspeakable and lets you in on the secrets of spiritual awakening. Introducing self-discovery, soul awakening tools that helps you remember your soul's true purpose to start manifesting a conscious reality. Every soul is unique, meaning no spiritual path is the same. Feel every conversation and let your mind, body, and soul guide you to what is unique to only you. It is the soul's resonance of remembrance. Now, take a deep breath, drop into your heart, and let us begin, beautiful souls creators. Hello, beautiful souls. In this episode, I sat down with Claude Chouinard, founder of Panchakarma Detox Center, One World Ayurveda, a gorgeous first-class boutique center located in the middle of the rice fields in Bali. It is a true oasis to heal, reset, and rejuvenate. Claude shares with us his inspiration for opening a Panchakarma center in Bali, the challenges in making sure a quality center was open considering Panchakarma is from India, and how offering a service that's natural and holistic, aligning mind, body, and spirit, fulfills his life. I am personally thankful for the existence of this detox center in Bali that can't be compared to others in the island. To learn more about Ayurveda and your personal body elemental composition, known as dosha, go on the description to take your dosha-free quiz and find out if you're more air, fire, or earth, known as Vata, Pitta, or Kapha dosha. It is fascinating how it will bring light to why certain foods or diets didn't go with your body before and what direction to take. Check it out. Now, let's begin, beautiful souls, and don't forget to follow us to receive your latest dose of heart-opening medicine. So, welcome everyone. I'm here with Claude, the owner of One World Ayurveda, just a beautiful being contributing to being able to integrate mind, body, and spirit. So we're going to learn more about Claude, One World Ayurveda here in Bali, which is a true oasis. I just spent 3 weeks. On the next episode, you're going to hear all about my beautiful experience. So let's get right on it. Hi, Claude. How are you?
Hi, Maria. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. So good to be back in Bali and feeling amazing after spending 3 weeks at your retreat center. So
I'm glad you did.
I was very inspired to talk to you and get to know a little bit more about One World Ayurveda. Like, what is your history with Ayurveda and especially Panchakarma? Many people know Ayurveda, but people don't have a clue what Panchakarma is. So can you give us a history how you stumble across it?
How I stumbled across Ayurveda. Well, at one point in my life, I spent about 3 months in India, and one of the place that I was staying, the owner of the guest house was an Ayurvedic doctor. So that was back in 1993.
Oh,
So that
wow.
was the first time that I touched Ayurveda, and I found it quite fascinating and became friend with that woman, and ended up actually at the same ashram as she goes to. And anyway, that's how I got introduced to Ayurveda. And well, being in love with this fabulous country, with India, and their history and their belief system, their philosophy, that is like so old. They say that Ayurveda is about 5,000 years old. I'm not sure if that is exact or not. I know that there's been people in India for 65,000 years, so maybe 5,000 years, that does make sense, right?
Correct.
So Ayurveda is very old. It's been written. It's real. It's a bit like Chinese medicine in a way. Like it's all about natural product, natural herbs, but the beauty about Ayurveda that I found was the, the consciousness of prevention, and that's what Ayurveda for me is all about. Why is it so powerful? Uh, when it comes to Panchakarma, that came much later in the history of Ayurveda. Ayurveda was a medicine to start with. And then at one point, there was an era where the doctors have introduced, I don't know who it is, but someone has introduced that concept of Panchakarma, which is five different action to purify the self. So basically, as you just went through, it's 5 different detoxes, and it's something that Indian people do. Many Indian people do once a year. You see, in India, what's interesting is that in India, they say that about 800 million people are actually following the Ayurvedic lifestyle, which means that they have Ayurvedic doctors, and I don't know if you've been to India, but in every villages there is, it's Ayurveda is so present. Every village, mainly in the south, but every village and cities have like Ayurvedic pharmacies, Ayurvedic doctors. It's very present in people's life. So many of them do a Panchakarma once a year, right? So it's part of their way of living. They will stop and take a week, not necessarily go to a center. Some people do, the ones that have, more money, but they will at least take a week, 2 weeks where they do Panchakarma. So the ones that are involved in Ayurveda in India, they believe in it and they use it for many things, not only for preventing illness, but also before they will get married, they will do some kind of a ritual based on Ayurveda. Before they will have a baby, they will, it's detoxing, it's
before
purifying,
big rituals.
Before anything big in their life, So that's one of the beauty of Ayurveda, and a bit the history of Ayurveda. Myself, I got inspired by Ayurveda by this woman first. And then what happened is I was traveling for about 8 years, and in 2000 I stopped traveling, and I ended up here in Bali. And started a spa business, and then a retreat business. So we were the founder of One World Retreats, which is at that point we were the pioneer in the retreat business here in Bali. We were the only one that was offering retreats, and we were offering retreats. One World Retreats. Unfortunately, it's been closed now since March 2020 because of the pandemic. But we used to offer a retreat every Sunday. There was a retreat, 6 nights retreat that would start every Sunday. So that was our life.
Beautiful program, in and out retreats.
Since 2003. In and out retreats. We had about 15 different programs during the year that we were offering. So some of them were repeating it themselves.
Wow.
And so back in 2004, we kind of started babbling a bit in Ayurveda. So we had a teacher that came, and she taught us how to give Abhyanga massage, forehands massage, and Shirodhara and head treatments. And so we started offering this to our guests at the retreat center. And it was working. It was like we could see result. People were happy. And for me, that's what counts. I mean, it's not, it's not the profit. The profit comes. That's an automatic. But what's most important is that people get result out of the experience that you're giving them. And that's always been what I want to do, and it still is, right? So back then we introduced Ayurveda. We were the first one here in Bali to do it, and but it was not like very, like, it was serious, but it was not deep. Let's say.
It wasn't Panchakarma.
So in 2014, we found this beautiful place where you were at for 3 weeks, and then we were going to do another retreat center there, and at the end of 2014, actually just a few days after I signed the contract. My business manager at that time, she said we were kind of like a business couple in a way. Like she was like my wife, and she said, "Now you need to get out. You've done too much this year, and da da da." And it was like just before Christmas, and I said, "I cannot go. It's Christmas, da da da. We're fully booked, and I have other businesses also." So she said, "No, you go, and you go and you do a panchakarma." And she sent me to Sri Lanka,
Oh, Sri
and
Lanka.
yeah, I went to Sri Lanka. I got there on December 19th, 2014, and decided to do 5 days of silence and kind of my own small mini vipassana. And and did a lot of meditation. I had kind of cut off with everything, like all my gadgets and computers
Correct.
and all of that, and then did meditation a lot. And then on day 4, it became very clear that I was going to do a Panchakarma center rather than just a retreat center in at One World, and
Wow.
uh, and the decision was very clear. And
How did
so
it
I
come
came
to you?
back
Was it a
here.
vision, a dream?
Yeah, it was a vision. It was a like when you know something like I was. It was in a meditation, and it was like boom. It came. And then I
Beautiful.
finished my meditation, and I do a lot of mind maps. So I started to do a mind map and try to see if that vision made sense, and it did. And I came back to Bali, and I said to my partner, "Well, that's it. We're not going to do another retreat center. We'll do an Ayurveda center." And one of the main reason was that I saw results where I was, and at the same time, I could see that we could do much better. Okay, like in a way, in the sense that it was a good place. However, many things were not respected. Like, for example, people were taking the truck, the bus in the morning to go and do some
Oh,
travel around, and
they were
then
getting
take
out.
the boat on the ocean, and they're in the pool, and I thought all of this is not a real panchakarma. It's not authentic, right?
And
So
you wanted to
I
do
think
silent days as well, and that
well,
was too much
I wanted
distraction.
to. You see, for me, it was my own choice to do silent, but it was like I've done silent retreats and vipassana in the past, and I just find that we find ourselves in silence. Uh, but anyway, I came back, and then everything kind of fell into place. Like it was challenging, of course. Like the medicine and the herbs and the doctors, and it's not like opening up just a retreat center. It's much much deeper. If you want to do it in a real way, it's much much deeper and much more
Were you
work.
the first
But
person to pioneer a Panchakarma retreat center in Bali? Because I know there's more than
no,
one now.
there's right. No, there's actually three. There's another one that is like I would say authentic as well. The third one is more of a resort kind, also not so, But I would say that we are the ones that are the most serious about it,
Agree.
about the whole thing,
100%.
right? And in a way that it is not. How would I say? It's a panchakarma, and panchakarma can be very difficult, right? Like it can be hard on you. It can be, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of put chocolate around it, okay,
I like that. A
without
little bit
sweet,
of
right?
sweetness
So
and decadence.
yeah, well, decadence in a way, just a little bit of comfort, like good rooms and smelling good everywhere, and nice music, and quiet moments and quiet space, and so everything that I find that is important to live something like a panchakarma, I put it together. And the main thing is that we train the staff properly, and that's a big thing. Like
Comes across.
all of yeah, it comes across, doesn't it? Because what's happening is that I find that the Balinese are very smart people. They're very spiritual. They're very grounded. They're very smart. So if they know what they're doing, and if they understand what they're doing, and if you run your business like a family, your operation like that's how it works here. Like it's the Bali is a community built of many communities, including families, right? So if you can bring this into your operation, well, you got a winner. And
Right.
that's what I think that makes a big difference with what we're doing and what other people are doing.
It definitely comes across, especially a lot of people that came in the first day. That's the first thing they noticed. They didn't even spend a whole day, and they're like, oh, they would say that how wonderful the staff is, or well trained. Everyone likes the rooms. You haven't missed a spot, and just hearing you speak, I was saying that this place is so humble in their advertising, and because you really are a 5-star Panchakarma resort, like a boutique resort. There's only 12 rooms, and the service and the I've never done a Panchakarma before, but everyone that's done it, that's been there, there's no comparison. Everyone's saying this is the best that they've ever had. So congratulations. I'm sure
Thank
you hear
you.
this all the time.
We we do, but we must remain humble and you see, I guess that the big secret is not to be pretentious. Like we do things without pretension. Like we do it real, and that's it. And trying to pretend anything else than what you are end up being. It shows. It shows as much as being real.
Yeah, and just playing with the natural elements that are already in the environment that you have. You have the
Mm.
people, you have the nature. And like you said, the challenges were finding the doctors, actually training the people that are more than willing to learn, and they have the intelligence. So how hard was it to actually find the doctor and the herbs, and creating a menu? Because you don't just do
It
the
it
same
it.
meal every day. The food is ridiculous, everyone. You can go there just to eat every single day and savor the flavors of the meals.
You know, when you're a believer, I'm a believer, right? I believe that we are very powerful, like human beings are very powerful. I believe that if there's a lot of so much magic in a seed of tomato or in a seed of apple, there's a lot of more magic in a human being if you believe in it. So,
Of
and
course.
I've been believing that when you plant a seed, things happen, it just grows, right? And I don't have doubts so much, right? So when I came back, boom, I found out that there was a faculty of Ayurveda at the university here, one of the university in Bali, and did a bit of research into it. The professor was away in India to get his wife. I said, okay, I'll get back to him when he comes back. Started to create my plan of what I wanted to do, blah, blah, blah. And then he comes back and he comes with his wife. And we met for lunch and I fell in love with his wife. I mean, she was totally an amazing woman. She was a doctor, PhD in Ayurveda. She was not working.
Wow.
It was like, like, okay, this is what has to happen. So this is what's happening. So they both got very involved with me. They were very interested. And the reason they were so interested was that my goal was to make it an authentic Panchakarma as much as possible. So there's things that I had to kind of fight with her because she's a very strict doctor, and she comes from a family of doctors also.
Yes, a
And
lot of rules.
so yeah, and then like for example having just a little sweet after dinner, like even if it's just a date, I had to fight with that, and I said, okay, now you're gonna have to prove to me that it's wrong to have a date. And then I know we had a lot of fun. And then she she started working with us like straight away, and then we've developed this whole thing, and it was really a gift of the gods said that she came into my life, because everything became so easy. And not so easy, but I mean so much easier because I had such a professional to work with. And then we worked together on developing the website, and then the training for the staff was 6 months to train the therapist, right? So it was a
Wow.
long training. Yeah,
Incredible.
there's about 45, 50 treatments that we are offering, so it's not like it's not so easy. And then, as women do, my beautiful daughter Parnav got pregnant and then ended up going back to India. And so before she went back to India, we had her mother here, her aunt here, my executive chef, because we also own a fine dining restaurant in Ubud. And so
Yes.
I had my executive chef working with them. And then we created this menu, the first menu, where I said to them, I want it to be authentic, but at the same time, I want to have a little touch of a little touch of Europe, a little touch of, like something else than just kitchery every
The
day,
tacos
like
were amazing. We're asking
yeah,
for more, and the pizza and the omelet, everything, the pancakes. Yes,
and they're all very healthy, and that's the beauty of it. And then, like in Ayurveda, well, like the food is, when you do a Panchakarma, food is very important, because the food is helping you into doing your own detoxes, right?
letting go.
So all the meals that we had to prepare had to be done. So for you, if you cannot eat tomato, for example, well, we could remove, and it still was an interesting dish. And this, depending on your doshas and on your needs during that panchakarma. So almost everybody seems to eat about the same thing, but in fact it's not the same thing, because every guest has its own file, and then we serve according to their needs. See,
Different
so
meals, definitely. And you guys go way beyond Ayurveda, especially with me. I'm vegan. So everything
yeah,
that I ate was vegan, mostly coconut
yeah,
oil. And
yeah,
also everything was gluten free. So that made a
yes.
huge difference. It's Ayurvedic, it's vegan, and it's gluten free. I can't think, you know, it's such clean food that's helping you just process and all the medicine that you're taking in, because we're taking in all kinds of concoctions every single day, 3 times a day,
They
with
taste so good, don't they?
beautiful food. Oh yeah. You guys just slip it in. Like, just get it over with. Now
It's
here's
all
your
in the
food. If you
mind,
want your food, your delicious
it's
food, down it.
it's all in the mind. You have to think about it as a nice espresso coffee, and
Yeah,
and
we all
it,
just do
it's
it quick
easy.
and then go. Yes. Without a doubt. Yes. So we want to ask a little questions about you, get to know you a little bit better, Claude. So what is your dosha, and what are some secrets that you can
uh,
share with us?
okay, my doshas, my predominant dosha is Pitta. uh, and I'm a real typical Pitta, because as you can see
A
when
lot of
you're
energy.
in my place, yeah, and everything has to be like this and like that. And so that's a bit the downside of Pitta. We're very perfectionist, and if we say the glass has to be there, the glass has to be there, not here. So that's my predominant. And then as you can see, I have a lot of kapha in me also. So I like to
Takafa.
eat, and yeah, I'm a kapha, I'm a pitta, I'm a kapha. So uh, and as far as tips, let's say that for me, what I think, first of all, I'm not a doctor in Ayurveda, or I'm not somebody that live 100% Ayurvedically. You know what I mean? Like, as I said before, I have a fine dining restaurant with the best wine list in Ubud and
Ooh.
maybe in Bali.
And you're
And I
French,
love,
so of course you do.
and I'm French Canadian. I'm not French, actually.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. So my big tip, I would say, is to, first of all, to develop your own daily routine. And I think that's a very important thing to do. Just to start the day the same way every day. And this is one thing that we're teaching you at One World Ayurveda, is your dinacharya. So waking up early in the morning, you get up at 6. We ring the bell at 6 o'clock every morning. Yoga starts at 6:45 every morning.
All right.
So to have a routine that is clean and repetitive, making sure that you scrape your tongue in the morning. It's something that when I started to do that, I first of all, I couldn't believe what was on my tongue
On
every
your
morning.
tongue, yes.
It's amazing, like
Scraping
you
your
don't.
tongue, it's such a big secret. Everyone should
It's such a
have
big
a
secret,
tongue
and you
scraper.
look at what's there, and it's like, it's incredible that I did not do that before.
I'm
Like
always
that
looking
I've
at
been,
people's tongues now. And I love watching kids. Little kids' tongues are always nice and pink and bright because their system's working
Yes,
properly.
exactly. So when it's out of balance, you can tell. Make sure that you clean your face properly, your mouth. You do the oil pulling.
Every
For
single
me,
day,
I'm a
all
pita,
pulling.
so coconut and So all of this brings you into like, it kind of centers you for the day to start with, right? And then to do yoga exercise every morning.
So
Those
mindful.
are, yeah, it's mindful, and if it's done in a repetitive way, like your whole system just accept it and wants it, like it's like meditation. For many people, meditating is very difficult, but it's like anything else. Playing violin is very difficult, and unless you practice and you practice, you'll never play violin,
It's a
right? So, or
muscle,
tennis, or it's
just
a,
a
yeah,
muscle.
exactly. So
Yeah.
so that's, the dinacharya is an important part of the day. And as far as other tips, I would say, when it comes to food, if you can think of adding, let's say, turmeric in your diet on a daily
Mm.
basis. Turmeric has such values and virtues. It's incredible. So just to add,
Anti-inflammatory. Yes.
yeah, it's got so many things. Actually, it's a spice that, well, the Indians are using it all the time, every day. So we need to learn from these people, from the Indians, because they've it's been an integral part of their life for so long, the spices, and they understand how to how it affects their bodies and their mind. And so just adding some turmeric powder to the rice, or to your greens, or
And it's
whatever, and or to
everywhere
make
in
teas.
One
It's
World
everywhere. It's
Ayurveda.
easy. Yeah,
It's
it
in the
is. It is.
treatments, it's in the oils, it's
Yes,
in the scrubs, it's everywhere in the food.
definitely.
It's yellow everywhere.
There's yellow everywhere. It's a nice. Even the walls have yellow color of
Yes,
turmeric. Have you
exactly.
noticed?
And the sarongs too. It's yellow and green. I'm
and
like,
the,
a lot of
and the sarong.
yellow.
The sarong is also.
I actually personally like the fennel seeds. I think that was a good touch.
Yes, yes, it's
Mhm.
very nice, actually. Very nice to drink in a wine glass, isn't it?
Yes, because it
it
can
it
be
gives you the
decadent.
color.
Yes,
It gives you the color of a Chardonnay wine.
exactly. It's so good. What are your guilty pleasures that you just
Oh
give
my God.
yourself if you just have to do it? You have to cheat.
Some people have sweet tooth. For me, I have sweet teeth. Like all my upper teeth are sweet, so that's really dangerous for me. So I have to be very careful with that. I try uh, to help myself with the sweet by eating sweet before meals,
Oh,
and
interesting.
I eat couple of spoon of very pure honey, and like not the honey that you find on the shelf, but
No, you can
honey
taste
that
the difference. You can
you
taste the
can really
difference.
taste it. The one I eat is actually, it's almost black, and it's here. It's from Bali here. It's from what do you call them? Those people that do honey. There's a name for them. Anyway, a honey maker, let's
Yeah,
say.
I've been to the places here in Bali and with the black honey, they taste different. I actually had a cut, and the only thing that I put into it, it was a coral reef cut, was only honey, and it left no scars because it has so
Yeah,
many nutrients
yes,
and it's anti-inflammatory and it's
yes,
so gentle. It's just so gentle
yes.
on the skin as opposed to other
And it
medicine that it's also killing a lot of like the good skin that's coming out, and that's why it scars.
so that's one way of cutting on my sugar, because it is actually, it's not even sweet. Some of it is actually even bitter. There's sweetness, but it's
Ooh, I
also,
gotta try your
it's
honey.
like chocolate. It's like chocolate, actually.
Mhm.
Like a pure chocolate is not sweet. It's like it's got
No,
bitterness to it,
cacao's
right?
bitter.
So
100% cacao's bitter. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing with that kind of honey. So yeah, so that's my little vices, and also I do enjoy wine. I enjoy cheese and things that. But for me, that's those are pleasures of
You enjoy
life,
life.
and I don't want. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm 63 years old. I've been living with that all my life, and I don't think that I have to give it away. So, but after Panchakarma, I usually do Panchakarma once a year, 28 days.
Oh, good for you. A whole
And
month.
that's really, yeah, well, a whole month. And I think that's the best because, once after, well, you've done 3 weeks, you know what it's like. Uh, every day that you add into a panchakarma is great because, every day is one more day of eating like so pure and more treatments and all of this. So, and I usually shed quite a few kilos, and I'm good for a couple of months being careful, thinking that I'm going to be careful for the next 6 months, but I'm not. 2, 3 months is enough. And then I start drinking coffee again, and I love coffee. And so
But you let your organs rest for 2 to 3 months. That's really good. Some people
at
never
least,
give
at
their
least.
organs a rest.
Well, that's it. So I do that, and then yeah, and I feel good about it. And I'm not the kind of guy that think that knows it all and has and will tell you what you should be doing. I just feel that everyone has to be judge of their own person, and but I'm offering alternatives, and it's there to take and to enjoy.
Oh, I love it. I'm so appreciative. So tell me, what if you pull yourself away and just look at everything that you created with the retreat center, the Panchakarma center? Like, what's the macro vision? Like, is this your service? Do you see it as a service that you're providing for the world? What's this passion behind? Right, like
Hmm.
from a more like a cosmic divine perspective.
It's a very beautiful question. For me, actually, it's whatever I've been doing since I'm about 50 years old. At 50, I kind of did a shift in my life, and I've realized that okay, well, we're not eternal for one thing, and then it became obvious that whatever I was doing is to try to do it as a legacy that I would leave to other people, right?
Beautiful.
So for me, it starts with it doesn't start with my clients or with my guests. It starts with my team. It starts with my staff. Like I was privileged to come to the world and got knowledge quite easily and experiences. And so when I came here to Indonesia, I thought, well, like it's a good time to give back, right? So I started to give back, and then to train people and have them understand why they're doing things. And so the greater picture is to give,
Love it.
not to ask from whoever I give to, not to ask them to give back, but I'm a believer that life will give back, and it always has. So I will keep on thinking this way and living this way, and the greater picture we want One World Ayurveda to expand into different countries. We already are now working on 2 different projects: Philippines and Albania.
Philippines and
Uh,
Albania. Oh, I had no clue. This is good news.
yeah, this is like I'm supposed to be in Albania now, but I'll be there next week. Um, so Albania is one of the projects. It's going to be a very beautiful Ayurveda center, small boutique also, in the south part of Albania, in a very old village. So it's going to be very nice, very high end. And then in the Philippines, it's going to be part of a complex there that is already existing. And then we're developing something there. It's not 100% sure yet
Yeah.
but it's getting there. We haven't signed the papers yet, but it's getting there. And at One World Ayurveda, Bali, we just before the pandemic happened, we leased a big piece of land just behind. I don't know if you had a walk
I
behind
did.
the yoga shala there.
I did.
Well, that whole area there's going to be 6 big suites that will be built,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
it will be very special, like very high end, very luxury, and so that's in the it's in the project to come, right? But of course, this storm that we are in right now has kind of stopped many things from happening. And then I feel that we are very privileged to have, like, you've been there for 21 days. We've been full.
You've
We've
been
been fully
full
booked,
every
actually,
single day. A lot of locals,
every
people
single
from
day.
everywhere in Indonesia. Yes, they're
Yeah,
coming in and out,
from
and you're having
Indonesia, from Russia, that are living here, expats. So it
many
kind of
expats.
proves that we are in the right place at the right time, and then there's a need for what we're doing,
There's
and
a
it's a
bigger demand where people are
yes,
waking up and they want to learn about ancient traditions. They're waking up.
exactly,
Thank
exactly,
you
exactly.
so much for your wonderful time. I know you're a very busy man, and definitely wanted to have you on this podcast, All Things Spirituality, because I want to invite guests who have their heart on the right place, and you're just doing it so naturally. You naturally vibrate so high, right? Like you don't need to read about a book. Like, what are the secrets? You're creating it, your thoughts, your beliefs, you're on the right place, and that's why you're integrating the mind, body, soul, and spirit, that you bring all of that to all your retreats. So I'm very thankful and grateful that you're providing the service for humanity to help elevate consciousness. It's just
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you
Thank
so much, Maria, and also same to you. What you're doing is fantastic. Spread the word, bring consciousness to people. We all need it. Moreover now, and I think that right now, because of this pandemic, people are going to be more and more and more aware of prevention rather than trying to fix the problem after.
Yeah,
So thank you
strengthening
very
your immune
much.
system. So I'm doing an episode on
Exactly.
immune system, and I'm going to bring in One World Ayurveda and Panchakarma, how important it is. It's key.
Thank you,
That's
and
what we should be focusing on.
enjoy the rest of your holiday in Bali.
Thank you so much, Claude. Have a beautiful
Nice to
day.
meet you.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you, beautiful souls, for listening. Don't forget to take your free dosha quiz to discover your personal elemental composition and recommendation. Find out if you're air, fire, or earth, known as Vata, Pitta, or Kapha dosha. It is fascinating how it will bring light to why certain foods or diets didn't go with your body before and what direction to take. Check it out. Also, if you're inclined to leave a review, do take a screenshot to receive a 33% off any of our programs such as self-love, inner child healing, or receive an energy balancing healing. Email and website are below on the description. Namaste, beautiful gods and goddesses creators, and don't forget to subscribe to continue receiving your dose of heart-opening medicine. Light and love.